If you have been going through my channel, you've probably seen that I've been talking about Capricorns a lot and certain things to do with astrology, and I realized that I didn't get into the planets yet. Planets have a really strong impact, or they're a part of astrology, so I do reference planets a lot, and I might even bring up rising signs or your moon sign and all that. And I realized that I didn't really get into the planets. And for people to understand astrology in depth and in detail, they need to be aware of the planets and how they play a role, because they are quite important and interesting to know in general, like whether you're into astrology or not. I do find, like, if you're into occult or just spirituality, higher knowledge outside of a traditional classroom, sometimes I find, personally for myself, I do like to know a lot. I'm a learner, like even as an adult, I like learning a lot and learning as much as possible, and I do find that learning about what the planets symbolize and what they mean and how they kind of have an impact or play a role in our lives and the people around us and society. Like, it's important to know what planets symbolize and how they kind of shape the world around us and shape our interactions, shape what's going on within us. So today I'm going to be getting into Venus and Mars. This is just the first of many to come, and I think it's going to be interesting now getting into what all the planets symbolize and mean, especially with Neptune. Neptune rules illusions and kind of like our fantasy world and all that. So it's definitely interesting to know these things, because it takes you a bit deeper than the surface level astrology. When you're just learning about astrology and you're like, oh, sun signs and moon sign or rising sign. But when you go deeper, it starts to get more interesting. I find it starts to feel richer. It starts to feel richer and deeper, the knowledge anyway. So let's just get into it, right? Obviously, Venus and Mars are quite different from each other, because Mars is a very masculine energy. It's the driver. It's the boss type of energy, kind of raw, animalistic. It is the go-getter, going after what they want. And Venus is more kind of charming. It is about beauty. It's about charm. It's about using your magnetic energy to entice people. It's not as forceful as Mars. And Venus is the planet that rules over Taurus and Libra, those two astrological signs. Venus rules over Taurus and Libra. And if you look into the aspects of these signs, or the characteristics of Taurus and Libra, you can totally see the Venus kind of influence on them. Because what are Taurus people known for and Libra's known for? They're known for enjoying nice ambiance. They're known for being in nice settings, like in nice places and things, or they like to be put in nice settings or hang around in nice settings. So what do I mean by this? Well, if you have ever been around a Taurus or a Libra person, they pay attention to details and things like certain furniture, art. Like, Libras are good with art, furniture, fashion, clothing and design. They are very creative people, I find, and they pay attention to the details. So that definitely comes from Venus, their ruling planet. And obviously, the Taurus individual and the Libra individual will definitely have more things in their chart, and I am aware of that because of astrology, you know. We don't just go off of like the sun sign and the core of who a person is, because there's more to a person than just their sun sign. Yeah, Taurus and Libras definitely enjoy nice ambiance, nice scenes and things. And what I find interesting, you know, when you compare Venus to Mars is Venus doesn't need to be so hard and pushy like Mars, because that hard and pushy thing, you know, Mars rules over Aries. Aries is like governed by Mars. So Mars is Aries, the zodiac sign Aries, you know, the ram, the horns. Mars is the ruling planet of Aries. So Aries people, you know, they're known for being pushy and assertive and going after what they want, but I find that with Venus, you know, Venus likes to take its time. It doesn't need to be so pushy. It doesn't need to be so forceful. It can just use kind of charm. It can use creativity. It can use art to convince people. It could use music or dance. You know, it doesn't have to be so pushy with its persuasion. It doesn't have to state all these facts and details to convince people. It's just more of a soft energy. It's more feminine. You know, if you look at the sign, the symbol for Venus, it's like the sign of a female. You know, the female sign, or the symbol that we use to identify females. And then Mars, you know, they use the male sign, the symbol that they use to identify males, so men. And the thing is, though, each person here on Earth, no matter what sexual orientation or gender, has both feminine and masculine energy. So we're all born with feminine and masculine energy. And obviously, we learn how to balance these out. Sometimes they become imbalanced, and that's okay. You know, it's part of life, and I think it's also part of each individual and their journey. So when people kind of say, "Oh, you're doing things a bit too this way or that way," it's kind of like, why are you telling this person, like, this person's an individual. They have their own characteristics. They were brought up in a different way to you. So why are you telling them how to behave? You know, because you're going off of what your parents told you or what society told you, but that isn't necessarily correct. So if they want to be more masculine, let them be more masculine. If they want to be more feminine, let them be more feminine. Whatever. Once it isn't like, once they are not going into school, shooting up a bunch of kids and all that, like, you know, there's worse things in the world. So, you know, I don't think it's like our place to tell people who they should be or what energy they should have in their life, because their life is their life, their journey is their journey. One of the reasons that people like spirituality is for how free it seems, or how, like, you're able to be more free than controlled religion. That's one of the reasons why people wanted to actually even break out of their religion and stop going to church and all that, because it just seems so controlled, so rigid. Like, oh, you can be a good citizen and all that, but then if you do this one thing, like if you're gay, it's bad. If you wear makeup, it's bad. If you do this, it's bad. So, you know, people just had enough of the church. They had enough of finding about how the church murdered a bunch of indigenous people and beat people, raped people, you know, all this kind of stuff. So when people go into spirituality, it's like, for them, it's a way to keep a sort of like faith, keep a sort of like belief in something, but it's also a way for them to be free. So if you add more restrictions when you're in a spiritual setting, it's not very helpful, especially if we're dealing with individuals who have their own ways of things. And spirituality is also very individualistic, because each spiritual person is going to be different from the next one. I'm just having some dragon fruit. But anyway, with Venus, like I said, the Venusian energy isn't very forceful like Mars. It's more about drawing you in, like people that wear makeup or certain celebrities or models, and like models, attractive people. They're using their Venusian energy. They're using their Venusian energy because they are kind of enticing you. They're playing upon your ego a bit, because people like to be around certain people for egotistical reasons or whatever, or just to look good, or to have certain people in their circle or whatever. But I'd say definitely it's playing upon people's ego, because some people, they're very much into that image or a certain look, and they want to have people with certain looks with them. And that can be even people with an alternative lifestyle, like people that are into rock, indie music. They'll want to surround themselves with people that follow whatever subculture they're into. I also want to state that men use Venusian energy. It's not just females, because men would kind of use their material or their cars to draw people in or attract people, or their kind of physique, if they've been working out, as a way to entice and attract females or whoever they're interested in dating, going out with. So men definitely have that Venusian energy, and of course men also have the Mars energy, because Mars is very dominant, masculine. It's like the go-getter. I do have a little bit of Venusian energy, and I understand the power of charm, the power of magnetism, and not necessarily being so aggressive when it comes to getting what you want. But I like to balance it out, here and there. I don't have to be completely soft and all that. I can also have a backbone and stand up for myself whenever I want, because it's needed. Like, if you're a female and all that, it's definitely needed, and it's something that you should learn or just practice in your daily life, so that you know your worth, you have a self-respect and self-love. It's part of your self-love journey. It's part of your glow up, as they say, or living your best life. You also need to have a backbone, or you need to protect your energy from people that don't really have good energy or want the worst for you. They're not happy for you. They pretend like, oh, I'm old and wise, but age doesn't signify wisdom. Age does not mean that the older person is going to actually want the best for you, or be happy for you, or want to teach you anything good or positive or beneficial. So, I'm quite perceptive. I don't let certain societal constructs or notions cloud my judgment on how I view people, and I won't treat people a certain way based off of past programming or based off of what society says you should do. I will judge you according to how you act in the moment, how you treat me, how you treat others, and how you treat yourself. So when it comes to the whole age thing, I don't really believe in that concept of like, this person's older, so they deserve respect, and they are a positive role model automatically. It's like, the president. They always choose someone that's very old to be president. They never really choose a young person. And it's like, why are all the presidents always like middle age and all that? Why can't they be a bit younger? They don't have to be very young, but why can't they even be just maybe in their 40s, early 50s? Like, what's wrong with that, I mean, I think also I view it in a spiritual context, to where I've met people that are young that I feel they have already, like in a past life, they have already accomplished a lot or done a lot. And when I meet them, they're a young person, they're even younger than me, but they're very knowing, like they're very spiritual. They are, evolved and developed even more than their parents, even more than their older siblings, you know, and it really stands out to me. So that's why when I say, you know, I don't believe in age and all that, or I don't believe in that societal concept of like this older person is going to want the best for young people, I don't believe in that concept, because time and time again, it's been proved otherwise. Time and time again, we've seen examples of young people being taken advantage of. We've seen young people just not really heard, not given a voice or a platform to speak their opinions. Like, oh, like you have to be in a certain category to join, to be able to be allowed in this group or to speak your mind on things. So it's like, you know, you're not fooling me. You're not fooling me, and I don't have to look up to you, basically. Mars is the god of war, or is known as god of war. War, W-A-R. So like battling, fighting, and all that. So like I said, it's quite aggressive. But sometimes that aggression, that drive, that driver energy, that boss mentality, that boss energy is needed to accomplish things and get things done. It's needed to complete tasks. It's needed to follow through with everything, make sure everything is up to standard, right? Being aware of what's going on around you. Not waiting around, just taking hold of everything, taking grasp of your dreams, taking grasp of your life, and going after what you want. It doesn't even care. Like the thing with Mars energy, and if you meet some Aries people, you know, Aries people sometimes they're known for being impulsive or just going after what they want, not looking back. So there's like a good side and a bad side. Let me get to the good. So it's good because, or it can be good because they can get a lot accomplished in a short amount of time. They can achieve a lot in a short amount of time. So like they can win lots of trophies, lots of awards, be recognized very fast, very quick for whatever it is they're doing. But the downside is it can burn out, it can fizzle out very fast because they've gone after it so aggressively. They didn't take their time, you know, like Venus, you know. They didn't take their time with it, so it doesn't disappear slowly. With Mars, it can disappear very quickly because it's like they rush to the finish line. They want all the awards, all the achievements, all the fame, all the fortune. It's like winning the lottery. But since they won so fast and they obtained everything so fast, they lived the fast life. They were in the fast lane, they lived the fast life. They could just go like this very fast. So they could just fall down very fast if they are not careful. It's all about how they are protecting their energy. So everyone, you know, everyone has this Mars energy to them. And you need to like calculate what you have in your Mars, obviously, but just know, like, use that Venus energy as well for balance. Because like I said, Venus rules Libra, and Libra is like the scales, you know, balance. It represents balance in life and making sure things are even grounded. So if you find that you're being too aggressive to go after what you want, you know, there's a time and place for it. And learn to actually process and enjoy your wins. Like if you win something, you know, you've been going after stuff with your Mars energy and you win, learn to just sit back and enjoy that win. Recognize that win. Recognize all the things you've accomplished in life. Learn to treat yourself like, you know, see about your more nurturing side, your more feminine side as well. Don't neglect your feminine energy, whether you're a man or a female, because self-love is important too. You need to take a break sometimes. Even if you have a lot of energy and you can accomplish and do a lot 24/7, that's cool, but One day you're gonna have to take a break. One day you're gonna have to go to the beach. One day you're gonna have to see your mom, your dad that you haven't spoken to in Lord knows when, because you've been so busy working on your goals, working on your business, working on this, that, the other. One day you're going to have to take a break, take a breather, because you're a human being. You're not a machine, you're a human being, right? Unless you are a robot, right? Then it doesn't matter. Okay, I guess it doesn't matter if you're a robot, but if you're a human being and you're watching, you're gonna have to take a break. So that's the thing with Mars, you know, it's sometimes like when you're in that mode where you're just going after what you want, not looking back, not giving a shit about the competition, sometimes you don't even care, like you don't care about taking a break, and I understand that. You don't care about taking a breather. It's just, you're just on a path to achieving. You're meant to achieve it. You are made to be the winner. You're made to win and to succeed. And I understand that. But there's going to be a time when there's going to be an intervention or something's going to happen where it forces you to realize that you need to take a breather, and you need to realize that, you know, your body, whatever, your family's going to come in. You might pick up a new kind of like relationship or partner along the way, and then there's a baby or something, whatever it is. You need to realize that certain things will come into your life to remind you that Mars isn't just the only planet, honey. You know, there's going to be other planets that are going to play out certain dramas and things in your life, like Pluto, Saturn, all these other planets, and you need to be ready for them. You need to be ready because they're going to have their own lessons besides Mars, okay? And besides Venus.
Venus is known as the sign of love. So let's get into this. If you calculate your Venus sign, you can calculate your sun sign online, like I have said in the past, or your moon sign, but we're specifically talking about Venus. You can calculate your Venus as well online for free on many different websites. Basically, your Venus sign dictates your love language. Your Venus sign explains your love style, how you communicate yourself or express yourself through love, what you're looking for in a partner. It explains what you're looking for in a partner. It basically is a representation of your love language. So calculating your Venus sign would be important to know if you're interested in synastry and learning about your zodiac compatibility. If you're interested in also learning your partner or your friends' Venus as well, you know, you can calculate theirs. I mean, it really depends on you, and some people, you know, they like to be in the know of these things, and people that are into astrology range from scientists, doctors, lawyers, presidents, gymnastic people, you know, athletes. So, you know, it's really up to you. I mean, if you want to calculate these things or get into it, but if you're into it, you're into it. I don't have to convince you. Like I said before in the past with astrology, it's something that people are into. It's been used as a science, and I'm not here to debate and go over and argue with people that aren't interested or just in denial about it, or think, oh, you know, it's just a waste of time. You know, if people can be into golf or into tennis or whatnot, I can be into astrology. It's just one of the many things that I'm into. So I do find learning about your Venus sign will really help you understand how you view love, like how you see love, how you view love, because everyone views love differently, right? Everyone has their own opinions about love and relationships, romantic relationships, family dynamics and all that. Love is not just like making love to someone. Love is more than that, I'd say. Like for me anyway, when I think of love, I think of compassion. I think of nurturing the planet, nurturing your family, remembering your family, people that are important to you. Like love is not just one thing to me. It does not represent one thing. To me, love represents many things. And it's all around us. If we choose to see it, we can choose to see negative and we can choose to see everything bad going on, or we can choose to see the love. We can choose to embrace it more, be open to it. Because sometimes if we've been hurt in the past, we might be closed off to love in the future. We might just think people are just going to be a certain way. Men are all the same, or men are going to be just a certain way, or oh, women are the same. Women are just going to be a certain way. Women are all bad when it comes to love. Men are all bad. So it's really like important, like if you have past emotional kind of pain or trauma when it comes to love, it's important that you do the shadow work and healing so that you can move forward in the future and actually embrace love, bring it into your life. You need to repair your relationship with Venus. You don't see Venus as being even around you because you can't see it. You've been hurt in the past. And now your opinion on love is distorted. So it really takes some time to heal. Obviously, it's not going to be instant, and I understand, but it's important for the future, for everyone's future, if they've had trauma in the past with love, if they like take some time out and learn to heal and move on, because being in the opposite emotion and being resentful isn't going to be helpful when it comes to just even relationships, you know? It's not about forget about things that happened to you or blah blah. Like I know bad things have happened to people, but when it comes to moving on, you're going to have to move on sometimes. And basically create relationships that are healthier and have boundaries. Like put boundaries in place so that you don't get hurt, or have certain standards and put those in place and don't back down from them in order to protect yourself and protect your energy. That is very important for anyone, right? Venus is also that goddess that a lot of people like Venus as a deity. A lot of women like Venus as a deity. So they would embrace Venusian energy. We call it Venusian energy. They would incorporate that into certain love spells. People that are into Wicca, Santeria, hoodoo, voodoo, and all that. Sometimes some of these people recognize the goddess Venus and work with her energy to embrace maybe their feminine nature or replenish their feminine energy. Sometimes we as females take on a lot of responsibility. We want to have many different things in life or be put together in many ways and aspects in our lives. So we sometimes take on masculine energy in order to achieve things or to get things done. And as a result, we can become imbalanced and neglect our feminine energy. So working with Venus can help you embrace your feminine energy. Just like Aphrodite. You know, Aphrodite is also a goddess of love and relationships and good fortune and fertility, beauty, and all that. So Venus is the same thing, but you know that the goddess Venus is also like, she also kind of reminds me of Yemaya or Yemoja. So the water goddess, the siren that we venerate and honor. If you're into hoodoo or Santeria, you'll know about Yemaya, or into the Orishas and all that. So Venus is kind of like that, you know, she has elements from the sea, from the ocean. She is like an ocean goddess, or depicted as an ocean goddess, Venus. Like in the shell, sometimes, you know, she's depicted in the shell, kind of like a mermaid, kind of like a siren. Venus is also about fertility and sex. So once you calculate your Venus sign, you will find out what zodiac sign you have in that Venus, in your Venus. So whether your like Venus is in Taurus or your Venus is in Capricorn. That's important to know, because when it comes to dating and how you make love to your partner or how you show your partner affection, if your Venus is in Capricorn or your Venus is in Virgo, it might take some time for you to open up to your partner. It might take some time for you to show affection to your partner sometimes, because earth signs are known for taking their time. They don't just rush into things. They like to find out who they're dating. They like to just discover things with their partner, go on journeys with their partner, learn things with their partner, have intellectual conversations. These are signs that, like, these earth signs are people that like to have intellectual conversations. So they don't want to just rush into things unless they're on their like unevolved stage in life. If they're not very evolved, then it doesn't matter. But if they're the more evolved type, they're gonna take their time. So having a Venus in Aquarius can make you somebody that is very eccentric when it comes to your love style, your love language. You might be really random. You might not want a conventional relationship. Venus in Aquarius people can also be very adventurous, like when it comes to relationships, or they're known for not following the norm when it comes to relationships and dating. So that's quite interesting to know. And I'm not going to be going through every sign, but I'm just saying, like, it's interesting to know what lies in your Venus, what zodiac sign lies in your Venus, and finding that out. Because sometimes we're like, how we interact, like when it comes to relationships, is so completely different to our sun, our core. So yeah, and your partner as well, whoever you're with, whoever you're dating, they're going to have their own ways of expressing themselves in the relationship according to their own Venus sign and other aspects in their chart. So yeah, it's good to know theirs. I mean, if they don't want to share it with you, that's fine. You don't have to ask or be intrusive. But if they're willing to calculate and find it out, and if you've asked them, then go ahead and see what they have, because it would definitely be helpful or just interesting to know in general. Let's talk about self-love for a bit. Let's talk about self-love, okay? Self-love is crucial. It is the starting point of any healthy relationship. You need to be healthy and sound in mind with yourself before getting into a relationship. I definitely suggest it. If you have past trauma, you've been hurt, or things have gone bad, things have been sour for a long time, you've been in a long-term relationship and it didn't end well, or you've had issues growing up, seeing your parents constantly fighting, so you have a negative view on love, you're going to have to take some time to heal yourself. If you don't have the self-love already, take some time out, work on yourself, do lots of clearing, lots of learning, get some skills, travel, see the world, hang out with different kinds of people, find yourself a bit, heal yourself, and love yourself. That is very important, and that is a staple to any healthy relationship, because if you just jump into it blindsided, it could work out, definitely could, but it sometimes cannot. It often cannot. It often will not work out if you are unhealthy, if you view yourself in a negative light, if you haven't worked on your confidence and all that, if you haven't healed. What if you've suppressed certain parts of yourself? What if you've suppressed certain energies within yourself that can actually help you with finding love, but you've suppressed it so long because you wanted to achieve certain things in life? You wanted to do or accomplish certain things. So you said, okay, I'm going to neglect this for a bit, because if I neglect it, I can achieve this, I can get this. I can get this kind of status, I can get this kind of career, this kind of money, right? But how is it going to help your love life, or is it going to hinder your love life? Just think about that for a moment. Think about what it's doing to you on a deeper level. So obviously, it's every individual is going to have to figure out, because I can't tell you what areas of your love life or your confidence needs to be repaired. Only you would know that. You know your life, you know your history, your life story, your upbringing, your childhood, and what you've been through. I don't know that. So you're going to have to figure out what areas of your life need healing and what areas of your life you need to work on to improve your image, to improve your confidence and the love for yourself. Because you can't give love to people if you don't have love for yourself. That is very important. Like I said, you can take time out and focus on you and what you're good at. Focus on your skills, your hobbies, your talents, your work, whatever it is, to heal and get back that self-confidence and get back to just being in touch with you. Sometimes we're so detached from ourselves with technology, with this, that, the other. We're always on the go, always trying to do things and accomplish, that we get detached from the core of who we are, or who we are on the inside. You know what I mean? So it's important to just get back in touch with self, and it helps with our clarity and helps us actually organize our thoughts to find out and determine what we're actually looking for in a relationship and in a partner. Because if we're constantly living a life that is just round and around and around, like kind of just partying or just doing things like that's not really aligned with our path, sometimes we're not going to be able to clearly see what we're meant to be doing or what kind of relationship we're meant to be going into, right? Because we're not aligned with our path. We're not aligned with our journey. We're doing things willy-nilly. We're doing things for the sake of doing things, but we aren't focused on our own individual purpose. So that's important to know, right? Even with astrology, calculating your life path number and all this kind of extra stuff, extra details could help you determine what you want in terms of relationships. So yeah, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be posting more planet videos in the future, so stay tuned for those, and feel free to subscribe if you like this kind of content, because like I said, I'm doing more videos like this in the future. And yeah, that's all for now.